evening, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are happy to welcome Darryl Drew to the program. Sam.
Glad to have you back, Darryl.
I appreciate you guys having me back. It's always a pleasure to get here to talk with you guys and about swimming.
Swimming, you're the head coach of CHS.
I have been for about 4 years now.
Okay. What you looking for this season?
I think we're going to have a really good season. We got a lot of upperclassmen on both teams, so I think both the boys and the girls will have a very successful season, and we'll see where we end up at the end. We got a lot of work to do. Today's the first boys' practice, so we'll see how we get from there. So, but I think we'll have good seasons.
You lost 3 boys, 1 girl last year, graduation.
Yes.
So you got a lot of returners.
Yeah, we do. We do. We got about everyone back. We got a couple of girls that have not returned. One's not her health is not great for right now, and we got another one that's just decided not to return. So, but other than that, we have everybody back for the most part. So,
when you open the season,
we start a diving meet on the 27th at Centerville, and our first meet for both boys and girls is November 28th against Eastern Hancock and Batesville. We usually swim Rushville and Batesville, but Rushville has now dropped their program, so it's kind of tough for them over there. So.
Yes, Brent Duncan, we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about Rushville discontinuing swimming.
Yeah, you know,
it's hard when you don't have a pool.
You got to respect those girls, though, man. I mean, they and boys. I mean, they had a swim team, and they went from place to place to swim, and just keep trying to compete. You know, whether they could or not, night in and night out. So I mean, I had a lot of respect for their coach and their teams because to do that is pretty tough.
Is it unusual for a school that size not to have a pool or not to have a swim program?
Not really. Franklin County, I mean, they're in our program. They don't have. There's a few around that don't have them, so it's not real unusual, no. And the cost of swimming and keeping a pool up and the chlorine, and I mean, it's got to be phenomenal.
This is your 4th year, starting 5 years? You're
starting my 5th.
Your 5th year, okay.
5th year in high school, 11 in middle school, and 17 in club. So
you swim early, you practice early in the day, I think, don't you?
Yeah, we hit the water this morning at 5:45, so pretty early.
And how long? Go ahead, Sam.
I just said that'll wake you up.
Yeah, that's right.
Real quick.
How long do you practice?
We go 5:45 to 7, so that they have time to get themselves ready and grab something to eat and get back into class.
Quiet, right?
Yeah. And then we'll be back in the water that night, 4 to 6. So.
The conference have a swim in the Eastern Indiana Athletic Conference have swimming?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How the Spartans do last year?
Last year, I think the boys ended up 2nd and the girls ended up 3rd. So we're hoping to do a little better than that this year. But, you know, there's some really good teams out there, just like there is in the other ones. You know, East Central's always a powerhouse for it.
Are they?
You know, and Greensburg's pretty good. So, I mean, it's not easy. We don't have that. Also, we don't have that class swimming, so we swim everyone. There is no class. So, I mean, every year we go up against Carmel, who has won 31 state championships in a row. So it's kind of tough, you know.
Who else looks tough? What about Richmond, Centerville?
Centerville's always fun for us. You know, Darren, who I coached with a long time, is up there, so he's turned that program around real well. So Centerville's always a good meet, always competitive, and it's always our cancer meet that we have.
Okay.
So we kind of not only have a battle in the pool, but we battle to see who can sell the most cancer T-shirts and raise money for cancer, and then we throw all the money together and put it into one of the cancer foundations. Last year, I think it was like $4,300. So
that's terrific.
The kids this year, the first couple years, we sold about 300 and some shirts a piece. Last year, we were at 507. This year, our goal is 600. And if we hit 600, Mr. Collins, the superintendent, has agreed to go in the pool. So we're definitely looking to have that goal.
What do you guys got against him? I mean...
Oh, nothing. He is just very supportive of the athletics.
Sure.
And we just wanted to find a way to get him involved, and, you know, so we think we found that way. So
now, is that your first event on the schedule? You mentioned Centerville. Is that?
It's December 7th, Centerville is. We'll have Rushville and Batesville first, and then we'll go to Hagerstown and Richmond, and then Centerville will be December 7th.
Okay, it's just diving on Center the first one.
Yes, it's actually just a dive meet.
Boys and girls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Co-ed swimming is great. I mean, TV3, we've been on there every so often, and those fans go crazy. They're like,
It's growing. It's been a lot more fun. The students have come out to support more, and it's great to see them guys come out.
yes.
And I mean, they bought T-shirt after T-shirt. Our cancer meet is so fun at home because all those kids come and wear those shirts. So the school system is very supportive and overall in it, you know. So it's a great thing.
It is a lot of fun to watch them compete. A race, I mean, a race of any kind to me, I think.
it's,
you know, it's individual talent.
It is.
It's not subjective. Somebody giving them points. It's what they can do and how fast they can go.
That clock speaks for itself.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
does.
it doesn't matter if you're what you are. It speaks for itself. So
it's an individual sport. Every man for himself.
yeah,
I mean,
it is.
It's great to watch. Yeah, we've at TV3 we've enjoyed doing the meets and everything, and looking forward to it again this year. You've had the pleasure of coaching some family members, haven't you?
A few, yeah, it's been fun.
Tell us about your girls.
They're both at Xavier. This is Pax's senior year and Reese's sophomore year. Pax has had a great start to the season. Reese tore a shoulder, so she's just back now in the water. She swam this past weekend and swam a really nice swim. So I think she's back on track. So looking for a great senior year and sophomore year for them.
Xavier swims against what kind of teams?
A little bit of everybody. I mean, this weekend they were in Denison. The weekend before they were at West Virginia and Seton Hall. The weekend before that, Bowling Green. So they got Cleveland State, a big meet coming up there. It's about a 6-team tournament. So they swim a little bit of everybody. You know, they swim UC. So, I mean, it's pretty broad what they swim.
Are they in a conference?
Yes, they're in the Big East.
Okay.
Yeah, Big East. So there's some really good teams in the Big East. Villanova's got just a great girls team. And I can't even pronounce half the girls' names on that team. They're all foreign. So, I mean, but they've got a nice program up there they're building. So.
Sure.
What a great opportunity, though, for your daughters to get to go and swim at all those different colleges, universities.
They've been very fortunate, and our family's been very fortunate. Swimming's gave us a lot. Swimming's let me be a part of a lot of families that are just incredible families to get to be a part of. So it's been really nice, you know. In the last few years, you know, we sent Brennan Beckman down to Lindsey Wilson. We sent Noah Sherwood over to Franklin. I mean, so we've had some, you know, some kids come out of here that have went on to do great things. Daniel Canor, I mean, he still holds the record at IU. He broke Mark Spitz's record in the 50 and 100. So, I mean, we got some great kids that's come out here and went on to further their college education and continue. And we got another one, senior this year, that's going to go on and do that, I think. So we got 5 or 6, 8 schools looking at him right now. So, of course, in our family, we're all hoping Xavier gets him quick, but we'll see.
Give us your home schedule. You have it there. When the teams that'll be coming in to the Spartan Natatorium.
Our first meet, November 28th, is Rushville and Batesville, like we talked about. The 5th, we have Richmond come in. The 7th, we have Centerville come in. And then on the 12th, we have Newcastle. The 15th and 16th is our home invitational, which will have about 5 or 6 other teams show up. And then we get Mount Vernon to come in on the 2nd,
Okay.
which is always a tough team.
And you have a kind of a quick season, don't you? I mean, it seems like the finals.
It seems like it. It does, but I mean, you know, the girls started 2 weeks ago, and they'll end up like sectionals the 1st and 3rd of February. So I mean, it's kind of a long, drawn-out season. We kind of break it down, getting in shape. We make it to Christmas season. That's when we really start working 2-a-days because I mean they're out of school, and then after that it kind of starts going downhill for them. So it's kind of you make it to Christmas, you've made it.
What do you look for in a swimmer?
Hard work and dedication. If you'll come and work hard and willing to learn, we'll be all right.
And you want a smart kid.
Well, yeah, I'd prefer, yeah. I mean, good kids, we always want to have our student athletes, you know, and try to win the highest GPA, but most swimmers are very intelligent kids. I don't know how that works, but I mean, it does. I mean, we've always been right there, so it always seems to work out for us.
Most coaches want their athletes to participate in other sports. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need to be doing something, and you know, I don't care what it is. You need to be out there and be a part of a team. And I always use example Pax for an example because Pax worked very hard at swimming, and that was her sport. But I always like to see her go play soccer, which she wasn't really that good at. But she was still part of a team and went out and had fun. It wasn't stressful. She went out and just had a good time. You know, and the same thing with Reese, and now we got Zane Spurlock who plays soccer, but his main thing is swimming. And, you know, it's always nice to see him get away and be on another team. So it's always good for him.
Sam, we had a basketball game Saturday night at Spartan Bowl, first game of the season for the Lady Spartans.
First one at home, and pretty good crowd, and people were entertained, but came up a little short.
And they had two great teams here that they met last week within 48 hours of each other.
Yes, they did. We went Thursday night over to New Palestine, and I thought played very well. Now we lost.
4 points.
4 points, and Coach Thompson and I talked about that. We don't like moral victories, but such an improvement over what we had seen, and
Yes.
and the girls played hard, played well. Marley Smith, I think, scored half
24.
the point, 24 of the
Yes.
48 points.
Yes.
She turned around and had double digits on Saturday night, but it just didn't seem like the same team that we saw on Thursday night. Now, Cardinal Ritter certainly gave the Lady Spartans their chances. They only lost by 6, 2-possession game at the end. Lady Spartans actually led early in that game, first quarter, and into the second quarter had a 9-point lead at one time, I believe, and
Had a lead at the end of the first period. That
But,
seemed to be controlled by the Spartans, but quarters 2, 3, and 4 went the other way.
the coach at Ritter called timeout and put on a full court press.
Yes.
And that made a big difference. That turned it around. But too many turnovers.
Yes.
And third quarter, I had them 0 for 11. They had 4 points all up from the free throw
Yes.
line. So
Yes.
a drought like that, but still to be in that game, 1 or 2 possessions with 2 or 3 minutes to go, they were still in the game. So you got to give them credit there.
I'm sure they're working on the press this week.
I'm sure they are.
Among other things.
And a good team coming to town on Friday night. Mount Vernon, Fortville, the Lady Marauders. Always good. Always good. I remember back when April McDivitt, I think it was her senior year, and we were preseason number 1 or number 2,
Yes.
and we go to Mount Vernon, and first game of the season, and suffered a loss there, but I think reeled off 20-some straight after that. So Coach Julie Shelton does a nice job up there. She's back. She went to Butler for a while, and now she's back. And I understand she has a daughter that's a freshman. So Lady Spartans will have to be ready, but the good news is it's at the Grand Palace on Grand, the Spartan Bowl.
Warren Central is one of the teams that has defeated Mount Vernon and Franklin. So both teams come Friday night will be looking for their first victory.
Yes, they will, and pretty tough competition that both Connorsville and Mount Vernon opened up with, and I think that's good that the girls do open up with a tough schedule, and they play a tough schedule overall. But they can see what the competition is going to be right off the bat, and work toward improvement, and I think there is improvement. These girls, Fran, one senior on the team, Tori Bostwick, and all the rest are juniors.
Yes.
And most of them have played varsity, a lot of them anyway, since they were freshmen. So each year they've gotten a little stronger.
Speaking of Rushville, that'll be coming up shortly. That'll be a conference game. Rushville won 22 games last year and lost 4. Are they that tough?
Well, I think so, although they opened up with a loss on Friday night.
Right. They're 1-1
to
on the
Newcastle,
record,
and then turned around and defeated Muncie Central. So Rushville's always good. It's just they have a winning tradition in girls basketball.
Yes, they had the lady that coached so long. Is she still?
Cinda Brown.
Yes.
She retired several years ago,
Okay.
and Oh, I've gone blank here, but
Yeah,
the coach they have now, she's done a fantastic job, and I think she's been there maybe 10, 11, 12 years.
Okay,
now.
Miss Brown though had quite a
Oh yeah, Hall of Fame,
program. But
Hall of
yes,
Fame coach.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. TV3 was at the game Saturday night when Cardinal Ritter came to town, and here are some of the video from that game. The opening ceremonies here as the girls are introduced as the bowl is darkened. It's quite an impressive opening ceremony, Daryl. I know you enjoyed that.
I did. That was really kind of a cool thing to be a part of.
There's Hannah Gross with a three-pointer.
That's right. First quarter looked good. I was hoping we'd have 3 more like that, but it wasn't. There wasn't to be. As you pointed out, that was Marley Smith, I think, going in for a couple of points.
And Beckman with the layup.
Jessica, number 21.
I watched her play the last couple of years and a lot of junior varsity play, and I could tell that she was going to be a good varsity player.
And it was Lauren Thompson, I believe, hitting a three-pointer, number 12, and that's the coach's daughter, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And Spartan turnover there leads 2 points by the Brigham girl.
Maddie, yeah, she had a hot hand. That number 22, she was tough to stop.
And there we saw the Spartanettes coming out. You know, they performed for both boys and girls
Yes.
games, and that Kiner girl just scoring, but Lady Spartans drop it by 6, and you know, a hard-fought game.
It was, and both coaches, I kept calling a timeout, trying to get their girls, I think, to settle down because the turnovers were unreal.
Turnovers.
By both schools.
Yeah, we had 20-some turnovers, 10 in the third quarter, and as I said before, that we were 0 for 11 from the field. So Coach Thompson, called timeout and tried to do something. This was Ritter's first game, and I think they had a little bit of first half, a little bit of opening game jitters.
I think so.
Lady Spartans already had one under their belt. But,
Yes.
But it's a long season, and I'm sure there are a lot of wins. Lady Spartans finished 10-14 last year, got to double digits, and I know that the girls and the coaching staff want to build on that.
Well, let's hope victory number 1 comes this week.
I hope so.
32-19, Mount Vernon won last year, I believe. So it's time for the Spartans to get a victory over this team from Mount Vernon. This week at CHS, the Lady Spartans freshman team, they will be traveling to East Central on Wednesday for the season's first game. The home season opener will be December 6th. Russia will be coming to Connersville to play the freshman team.
Get a taste of the young Lady Lions.
That's right. And as we mentioned, the Spartans play Mount Vernon this week. They JV at 6 and the varsity at 7:30. It will be an interesting ball game, I think, Sam.
I think it will be.
I'm sure Michael will have a turn.
I'm sure they're working hard as we speak, getting ready.
And the middle school begins winter sports Thursday with the boys' white team. They'll be taking on Randolph Southern. That'll be at Spartan Arena at the middle school. The red team will be opening its season on Thursday, November 16th. They'll be hosting Union County. So middle school getting into action here.
Get those guys going. They play early, and then the girls in middle school, they don't start until after Christmas.
Right.
So a little different there how their schedules work.
We want to congratulate all the student athletes that were recognized for the Fall Sports Awards programs last week of both the middle school and the high school. So a lot of kids were recognized for the hard work they put in. We want to congratulate them.
Yes, we do. And hopefully we'll be seeing some of them here in winter sports, some of those same kids. And I'm sure we will because, you know, the award winners in fall sports, and we talk about a lot about being multi-sport athletes.
Yes.
Your better players play more than one sport.
And Brent Duncan told us that college people look at that as to what has this student done in school, and then they take these youngsters and hone them down to one sport, one major sport in college. Interesting.
Yes, it is.
Interesting.
Yes, it is. Which you've had a lot of success with kids going on to college. The coaches, those college coaches, they contact you and come and talk to you about your kids, and how's that?
They do. A lot of times, college coaches will call the club coach because they're with them 9 months a year, and in high school they're only with them 3 months. So I mean, I've got the honor of having both of them. So yeah, they normally want to talk to the club coach more because of, like I said, they got them 9 months a year. So, and they will ask, what other sports are they doing? What are they, are they playing soccer? Are they playing basketball? What are they doing? And so, yeah, you get into a lot of those questions. They want them playing other sports. So, and a lot of the smaller colleges are looking at it like, hey, come swim here, and you could also maybe play baseball, So, I mean, they look at that also, so to see what else they can do. So, it's interesting to see. So,
And it's probably rewarding, I would think, for you to be able to be able to help those kids maybe get a scholarship and go play somewhere, and to get to talk to coaches at the next level.
it is. It's really, I mean, it's really interesting. Friday, we just went over to Franklin and talked to the Franklin coach for Zane, and that day earlier, I talked to Ray Luz, which has got the #1 ranked team in college, and he had called to talk about Zane a little bit. So, I mean, he's got a wide spread of teams looking at him, and I mean, Manchester's talked to him, Hanover, Xavier. There's several teams that have looked at him already. So, we're hoping to get him going this winter and see where he can end up at. So,
Do they send scouts during the regular season to watch them, or they rely on film?
a little both. I mean, if a coach is really interested, he'll show up, I mean, at a meet and want to talk to him and talk to the parents. And we send a lot of video to them, and, a lot of measurements. They want to know wingspan. They want to know those kind of things. And so a lot of information sent out. And then when they're really interested, they'll come show up and check them out for a while. So.
Yeah. Who helps you coach?
Leah Fishman is my assistant coach, and then my wife Kelly is there some to help work out things. And then I've got a great set of parents, I mean, just that help out all the time.
Yeah,
I got 2 team moms, Amy Kiefaber and Jennifer Cooley, that just kind of take control of everything but swimming. And it's like I get a coach swimming, and they take care of the rest. So, they're a great help. And Amy will be getting me the information on our T-shirts tomorrow for the cancer meet, so we'll really start selling those. So they do a great job, and there's a lot of parents that get involved. Swimming's just a family sport.
You rely on volunteers at the meets, don't you?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of volunteers that time, concessions, I mean, run the clock. I mean, a lot of volunteer work goes into it, and we just, like I said, we've had, over the years that I've been coaching, we've had just great parents. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything else. I mean, they're unbelievable. So,
Darryl Drew is our guest on today's program, a swimming coach at CHS. You wear a couple of hats, so you have another occupation.
I do.
Tell us about your part.
We got a lot going on right now at the park. Saturday, we just kicked off the Elementary Girls Basketball League.
Okay.
So they just got underway on Saturday. We're taking the boys sign-ups till December 8th. We start them a little bit later because Coach Brown has a program that is like the dirt road program, so it's like an AAU travel. And so we wait till they get done playing that to start ours so that they can play both. So we got that going to be starting, probably the 1st of January. We'll start indoor soccer here for long. And so a lot of things going on. Just opened up the new canoe launch out on Veterans Memorial. So a lot of things going on there right now.
In addition to taking care of youngsters this winter, you have some adult program, don't you?
We do. We actually every day there's pickleball that we probably have 15 or 20 people show up to play every morning from like 9 to 11. We have a men's basketball program getting ready to start, and the church program basketball getting ready to start. So we have kids and adults, and get a little bit of everything.
Well, that's good. We're using the facilities.
We are. We
Most
are.
of that's at the Miller Center?
Well, we play our basketball games at the high school, thanks to the high school, administration and Brent Duncan, because I mean, ours is booked so much.
Okay.
And so Brent's very helpful and lets
That's
us
good.
play the games out there. So he works with us very well. So it's a great thing.
So you work with the youngsters grades 1 to 6?
Yes, 1st through 6th grade play basketball, and we're looking at a kindergarten basketball league maybe starting up. So, trying to get everybody involved.
Now, these kids use a full-size basketball?
First through 4th normally use a intermediate ball. It's like a 28.5, and then the older kids use the bigger ball.
And they try to hit the goal 10 feet from the floor, or you lower the goal?
1st and 2nd grade play on 8-foot goals.
Okay.
And then the other ones play on the 10-foot goals. So.
Sam, people are lucky to have those kind of facilities here.
Yes,
in
we're very fortunate and
Yes.
very fortunate both through the school corporation and through the Parks Department. And I know that Darrell and the people up there are very accommodating
Yes.
for many things that go on in the park.
How do you sign up for these programs?
Just, John's gracious enough here at Channel 3 to put it in. We have it on our Facebook page. You just walk into the Miller building, the forms are laying there, and fill them out, and you're good to go.
Is there any charge? to the
For basketball is $25 for the season, which we try to keep it very low thanks to sponsors that help sponsor the teams and stuff. We can keep it at $25, which is
Good.
pretty reasonable for kids around here. So sponsors are big for us at the park. I mean, and they just come back year after year after year. Soccer is a big one. We'll finish up the championship games next weekend, and we get about 371 kids from the ages 3 to 12 playing soccer. So I don't know if you've ever been out there on a Saturday, but man, it is crazy. I'm sure when Sam rides his motorcycle by out there on Saturdays, he notices
I
that.
have to slow down a little bit.
So it's boys and girls soccer?
Yes, yeah, it's co-ed.
I'm sure that coaches at CHS are very happy to see this kind of a program.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I mean, we got to get it into middle school now, but it's a great program, and it's the fastest growing one we got. I mean, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
So you do have hopes of putting a middle school soccer?
I think they're going to look at it. I think they're
Good.
looking at baseball and softball right now.
Good.
And so I think that's going to start up next season for the middle school. So
That's good news.
I think they have to do like a club for 2 years, and then they can bring it into the school system. But it looks like they're
Okay.
working on that from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. We talked about the youngsters programs as far as the charge and thing. What about the adults? What kind of costs are we looking at?
Church League basketball is $175 for the season, and each team will pay an official. And then the men's league is $250, and they pay the officials. So we'll have probably 10 church league teams and 12, 14 maybe men's league programs. So
Did they play in the gym at
Yes.
Miller? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, they play on Sunday. The men's league is, and Monday nights is church league.
Okay.
So lots going on.
Absolutely. Do you have any help up there?
Oh yeah, we have our secretary, administrative assistant, Erica Murray, who just keeps everybody on their toes, and then we got Jess Fall, who is the superintendent, who's running the other part of the things that aren't sports. So it's there's a lot going on, and a lot for her to juggle, a lot for Erica and me to juggle, but we get through it.
Got a park board?
We do. We have a great park board that is very involved with what's going on in the park, and want to see it headed in the right direction. And so they've been fantastic to have a park board.
We appreciate you taking time out, Darrell, getting up early in the morning to go swimming, and then you stopped by TV3 here this time of the night. So we really appreciate it, and best of luck, man, in swimming and with all the programs at the park.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody, for watching TV3, and a reminder that the Cardinal Ritter game with the Lady Spartans will be on TV3 this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 8 o'clock. And Sam will be at Spartan Bowl come Friday to host the Mount
Vernon Lady Marauders. Tune in to KMix 106.9.
Good night, everybody.